I hope for nothing. I fear nothing. I am free. Since we cannot change reality, let us change the eyes which see reality. In order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. A person needs a little madness, or else they never dare cut the rope and be free. The real meaning of enlightenment is to gaze with undimmed eyes on all darkness. True teachers use themselves as bridges over which they invite their students to cross. Then, having facilitated their crossing, joyfully collapse, encouraging them to create bridges of their own. Everything in this world has a hidden meaning. I said to the almond tree, "Friend, speak to me of God," and the almond tree blossomed. Every perfect traveler always creates the country where he travels. The masses do not see the sirens. They do not hear songs in the air. Blind, deaf, stooping, they pull at their oars in the hold of the earth. But the more select, the captains, hearken to a siren within them and royally squander their lives with her. We come from a dark abyss. We end in a dark abyss, and we call the luminous interval life. Life is trouble, only death is not. To be alive is to unfasten your belt and look for a fight. There is only one woman in the world, one woman with many faces. Beauty is merciless. You do not look at it. It looks at you and does not forgive. My principal anguish, and the wellspring of all my joys and sorrows, has been the incessant merciless battle between the spirit and the flesh. In order to mount to the cross, the summit of sacrifice, and to God, the summit of immateriality, Christ passed through all the stages that the man who struggles passes through. Throughout my life, my greatest benefactors have been my dreams and my travels. Very few men, living or dead, have helped me in my struggle. Every man is half God, half man. He is both spirit and flesh. That is why the mystery of Christ is not simply a mystery for a particular creed. It is universal. What a miracle life is, and how alike are all souls when they send their roots down deep and meet and are one. Let your youth have free rein. It won't come again. So be bold and no repenting. The human soul is heavy, clumsy, held in the mud of the flesh. Its perceptions are still coarse and brutish. It can divine nothing clearly, nothing with certainty. Behind each woman rises the austere, sacred, and mysterious face of Aphrodite. Beauty always had a purpose, to be of service to life. My entire soul is a cry, and all my work is a commentary on that cry. All my life, I struggled to stretch my mind to the breaking point, until it began to creak, in order to create a great thought which might be able to give a new meaning to life, a new meaning to death, and console mankind. My report to Greco is not an autobiography. I fight to embrace the entire circle of human activity to the full extent of my ability. Nothing is nearer to us than heaven. The earth is beneath our feet, and we tread upon it, but heaven is within us. In religions that have lost their creative spark, the gods eventually become no more than poetic motifs or ornaments for decorating human solitude in walls. God hates a half-devil 10 times more than an archdevil. One of man's greatest obligations is anger. Never in my life have I feared death as much as I feared that resurrection. I hope nothing. I fear nothing. I am free. I felt once more how simple and frugal a thing is a happiness. A glass of wine, a roast chestnut, a wretched little brazier, the sound of the sea, nothing else. God changes his appearance every second. Blessed is the man who can recognize him in all his disguises. Life's true face is the skull. If a woman sleeps alone, it puts a shame on all men. God has a very big heart, but there is one sin he will not forgive. If a woman calls a man to her bed, and he will not go. You can knock on a deaf man's door forever. The only thing I know is this: I am full of wounds and still standing on my feet. Life is trouble, only death is not. To be alive is to undo your belt and look for trouble. You have your brush, you have your colors, you paint the paradise, then in you go. Happy is the man, I thought, who, before dying, has the good fortune to sail the Aegean Sea. Reach what you cannot. Only one woman exists in this world, one woman with countless faces. If I were fire, I would burn. If I were a woodcutter, I would strike. But I am a heart, and I love. There is only one sin God will not forgive, boss, and that is to deny a woman who is in wanting.